intro to start off this video. Honestly, I was gonna do my intro per usual. I'm just a little distraught right now, bro. Give me a moment, man. Oh my god. Oh man. I knew this would happen. We were riding a high coming off of that first series against the Pelicans, winning game 1 convincingly. I'm not gonna lie, it got my hopes up. Definitely got my hopes up that the Thunder could possibly be advancing to the conference finals. Games 2 and 3. It's PJ Washington, man. PJ Washington. Luka has been having, a tough go being guarded by Lou Dort. Kyrie Irving, in that first half, he's having very, minimal scoring outputs. So, with Luka struggling and Kyrie not really scoring, it goes to the third option, which is in this case PJ Washington, and he's been putting on for them, man. Back-to-back games of 27 plus points, and he's looking very comfortable out there, taking 25 plus shots. I think he took 27 shots in this game, so or 23 shots in this game, 11 for 23. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Mavericks, I guess. This game specifically for the Thunder was really rough for me to watch. The first half, it was okay, 52-51 at the half. We were up by 1 point, but you could tell at some point Dallas would end up, taking charge of this game. We had the bench scoring, the bench production over them 17-2, I want to say, or 17-8, something like that in that first half. I can look real quick. Let me see. 17-4, yeah, in that first half, bench scoring. We were dominating them. But you could see that the way that their starters have been playing when it came down to it versus the way our starters were playing, like Josh Giddey only playing 13 minutes in the fucking game. Last game he played 10 minutes and he has a total of 13 points in the last 2 games in 23 minutes. J-Dub, just 5 points in the first half. Chet, not really able to get a lot of good looking shots. He only took 9 shots in this entire game. Lou Dort, like I said, he's been giving Luka a tough assignment on the defensive end, but on offense, his performance is dry. He shot 9 shots in this game, made 3 of them. 2 of them were from deep, going 2 of 7 from range. He had 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal, and the man fouled out. Granted, some of those fouls that he was receiving, like that first one on the Luka Doncic 3, I did not agree with whatsoever. He didn't get touched from what I saw, unless they count in the leg thing, but he literally kicked his, whatever. I'm just not very impressed with what I'm seeing offensively. Defensively, we're holding our own. To keep a team like Dallas within 102 points on average over these 3 games is amazing. We're holding it down. But where we're getting killed is giving up second chance possessions. Like I said, what will be an X factor for us in the playoffs is rebounding. We do not have a rebounder. Luka out rebounded us in that first quarter by himself. We had a total of 5 as a team. He had 6 alone. So right there, that just goes to show where we have a glaring problem. Not to mention, we have a starter that can't play more than 15 minutes in the playoffs. We have a glaring problem. Yeah, we are the youngest team to be in this position as the 1 seed in NBA history, but there was some hope coming into this series that we could actually, make some noise. After winning game 1 and then seeing how we lost game 2, albeit another couple possession game, I said within 102. Dallas scored 119 in game 2. So, still, a team like Dallas who loves to run the score up, we are doing a solid job on the defensive end. But with that being said, it's just there was hope for us coming into this series, at least for the fans of the team, that we could come out and make some noise. But from seeing how this is transpiring right now, and we're in Dallas next game as well, I'm very nervous. Like I said in game 1 against the Pelicans last series, there was a lot of mishaps that we had, albeit just our first ever playoff game as a unit. There was a lot of mishaps that I saw that could, down the road be trouble. Like there was a possession in the fourth quarter on albeit a fast break, but they slowed it and tried to set up offense where Chet had Kyrie Irving guarding him. And he's standing in the corner while Shea is up there trying to get busy. Shea ends up getting to the mid-range. He misses. I think somebody got the rebound. He gets another attempt at it and throws up some bullshit at the rim. And now the Mavericks are on a fast break. There is no world where Chet should not be on the block if Kyrie Irving is the defender on him. No world where he doesn't get that ball, where he's not he should have been posted up. Why is he in the corner in the first place? You haven't been effective from 3 in this game. There's no need for you to be out there. Yes, Shea, this is his time. Him and J-Dub come alive in the fourth quarter, but with it being a 3-point game, I want to say at that time, give Chet the ball, man. If he gets fouled, if the help comes over, then that's when Shea is standing over in that right wing in the corner area, and he's able to get the kick out, and y'all able to get some more motion. But for Shea to look him off, like essentially have him stand in the corner while he goes to work and misses 2 shots, that is the youth and inexperience in this team really showing itself. There was another possession where we're just getting boxed up all around. The ball, I want to say, touched all 5 players' hands on this possession, and it gets stuck on in this bubble on the left side with about 5 to 6 seconds left. J-Dub I forget who was guarding him, but he was in a box. He ends up kicking it to Casey Wallace. It was either J-Dub or Shea that was getting clamped down. Kick it over to Casey Wallace and takes a contested 3 to hit off the front of the rim. It was just a lot of plays, especially in that fourth quarter, that I was not fond of. Yeah, that's my little. That was not a little rant. It was 7.5 minutes, but we could touch on some specific things as far as what my notes to go over. Chet Holmgren in that first quarter, it was very great for him on the defensive end. On offense, he didn't really get much going for him in the entire game. He had just 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Like I said, 9 shot attempts. He definitely has to put on some muscle though coming into the next year. He got bodied on an and one by Derrick Jones Jr., probably the skinniest dude on the Dallas Mavericks roster. He got bodied and put to the floor. And it wasn't even a dunk, it was just a layup. But Derrick Jones, obviously one of the more ferocious jumpers in the league, he came with so much force that Chet just gets bumped and knocked down to the ground. So he definitely has to pick up that strength because it's going to hurt him in the long run, especially in this series with big body, he's not big body, but he's definitely stronger than him. Daniel Gafford, who hasn't really been that effective offensively in the past couple games. PJ Washington, but he's not really on the block. He's more, getting his work on the perimeter. I mean, he is sometimes getting to the rim, but Chet's not he's not his assignment. But like I said, it was great for him on the defensive end. He did finish with 3 blocks in under 8 minutes in that first quarter. He had a total of 4 blocks for the first half. Didn't get one for the rest of the game. But all in all, a solid defensive performance for Chet Holmgren. I don't know, man. I was just seeing the way we lost that game really took the really took the wind out of my sails, bro. Like, oh man, it's so, because I can hear it now, man. Shea finishing second in MVP, then we're the 1 seed, and let's say we get bounced in 5. Or even losing in the second round as the 1 seed is frowned upon. It's just I can hear all the Shea slander now, and I'm not ready for it. Not that I feed into that bullshit or anything like that. It's just I do see it and it does irritate me. Or just slandering the team in general. We're literally, like I said, the youngest 1 seed ever, the second youngest team in the entire NBA. So we are gonna have mishaps. There are going to be some shortcomings for this team. This year may be one of them. Although we did have a solid regular season, this is where teams are really made, is in the playoffs. And Um, solid first 5 games. Game 6 of the playoffs. Game 6 for us of the playoffs. It was okay. Our 7th game being Game 3 today. It was really just that fourth quarter, man. Or the second half, really, because we lost the third quarter after being up 10 at one point in that quarter. It just wasn't a good look for us, man. It wasn't. And then Shea, for the game, started off very quiet in that first quarter. Like, this is how I did. Like, when this happened, it kind of led me to believe this was not going to be a good game for the Thunder. For the first 3.5-ish minutes, Shea legit did not touch the basketball. He did not touch the basketball on offense for the first 3.5 minutes, which led to Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren taking 5 of the first 6 shots of the game. And it took him a while to get going, you know what I mean? He did have 9 points in the first quarter, 3 or 4 from the field, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. He played the whole 12 minutes. So, I mean, you're bound to have some decent stats, but it did take him a while to get going. Just imagine if he just came out the gate aggressive, what this game could end up being. 7 points in the second quarter on an array of work out of the mid-range area. He followed that up out of the half with 9 points in the third. Like I said, in that fourth quarter, he just got bottled up, man. A handful of missed shots. I didn't even keep record. I wasn't even taking notes watching this fourth quarter because I was just so locked in and just trying to give us some kind of, good graces by me watching and actually being tuned in. Just 5 points in the quarter, just being suffocated by the defense, man. He finished the game with his regular 31 points. He had 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. He needed 4 blocks. Shea had 4 blocks in his game, 10 of 23 from the field, so not the greatest shooting night. He had 5 turnovers as well, 2 of them down the stretch, being very, very critical. That were costly at the end of the day. We lost by 4. He had 2 turnovers. That's a 4-point swing right there. So it is what it is, man. Like I said, there was hope for me coming into this series. I'm not too hopeful anymore, but there's still a lot of basketball left to be played. So who knows? Like I said, we are in Dallas. We got to figure out something for PJ Washington. We kind of got a recipe for Luka and Kyrie Irving, kind of, with the Lou Dort and J-Dub assignments. But when it comes to PJ Washington, we weren't prepared for the kind of production that he was going to be putting out. So his back-to-back 27 and 29-point games, Dagnall got to go to the drawing board and figure out a way to lock in on him. Do we bring... I don't even know who could guard PJ Washington other than probably J-Dub. I don't know. We don't have many... because PJ Washington's a pretty strong dude as well. So we don't have many bodies to throw at him that could be effective on a defensive end, that can actually give him a challenge at scoring that basketball. So I don't know, but he's the problem. He's the X factor for them. Like I said, we have some sort of recipe figured out for Luka and Kyrie. It's the PJ Washington thing that we have to go into Game 4 and really figure something out, because you can't have their third option pacing with your best player, essentially. That just can't happen. And then they combine it for 44, throw his 27 on top. They don't really need that bench production. So, like I said, J-Dub struggled in this one, man. Just in that first quarter, did not score, did not even attempt a shot. Like, other than this, right along with the Shea not touching the ball for the first 3.5 minutes, J-Dub not even looking at the rim to attempt a shot in that first quarter, really left a sour taste in my mouth, man. Nope, pause. It just was, it didn't look good. Even in that second quarter when he finally did start scoring, it wasn't until Shea went to that bench that he got his 5 points, but that was it. His 5 points and 5 assists for the first half, and then in that second half, he had 11 points, 3 assists, a few rebounds and a block, 7 of 12 from the field. For the game, a total of 16, 8, 6, and 1. That's not, if he's going to be our second option, he's been looked at to be our second option this year. That's not going to cut it. It's not, especially when we have a starter that can't play more than 15 minutes in the past 2 games. And he's only given us 9 and 4 in the past 2 games. J-Dub has to figure out. He got to dig deep. I know you're just a sophomore, bro. But like I said, this is where teams are made. This is where players are made, is in these playoff moments. Show us what you're really about, who you really are. So you can be an effective threat aside Shea, because we know Chet is not. He's a rookie. He's still technically a rookie. He is a rookie, but we're not expecting Chet to be that second option right now. That's who you are. You need to step up to the plate, especially when Giddey is not doing it. Our bench, we had 17 first half points. I want to say we ended with about 23, 24. But across the board, it's just not enough production. It's like we have two starters that aren't giving us much offensively in Dort and Giddey. So somebody got to help Shea, pick that extra slack up. We can get away with it in the regular season. That's how you get a 57-25 record. Because you got about 25 games where it's just an off night, or you're going against a better team that just got your number, or is your couple of your starters not able to carry their weight. So like I said, there's a couple things that we can do going into the next season, as far as constructing a better roster around the core that we do have. I will say Lu Dort is not looked at to be a 12 to 15 point per game scorer. He gives us a solid three threes a game and plays some great defense. We'll live with that, but he needs to do more as far as contributing in the rebounding department. He could crash the glass a little harder, although just 6'4", 6'5", he could crash the glass a little harder, seeing how we are one of the smaller teams in the league. He could work on that, and that can be a contributing factor into him being an effective player on both ends of the floor. We have shooters off the bench, scorers off the bench in Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins. We also have Gordon Hayward, who I don't really know what, Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams off the bench. He could be a very, very promising player in this league as well, but to Giddey, we got to do something about Giddey, because what are we getting from him? What purpose does he serve on the court other than to be a decoy? His defense is not great. His shooting is piss poor. They give him those shots. They want him shooting those shots. I seen him being guarded by Daniel Gafford. They don't give a damn about Giddey being out there. So they're able to hone in on Shea. They're able to hone in on J-Dub. We need something. We need some kind of threat out there from either three, mid-range, or at the rim. Now, I will say, when he does get to the rim, he can finish. But how often will he actually take a shot? How often does he look to score? So, even his playmaking, which is his best attribute as a player, we haven't seen any of that in this series at all. I don't even know in the last series if he had a solid stretch of playmaking. I know he had a game or two, but So, I could go a little deeper into my notes. I will go over my Luka section, because this is something that it needs to be said, man. Like I said, when I am criticizing and chastising these players, it's never to come at their character, but I am going to critique what I see, and what I see a lot from Luka Doncic is crying and complaining. I won't say crying. That came out wrong. I see a lot of whining and complaining to the referees whenever he doesn't get a call. Lu Dort has his hand on his chest, and he's looking at the ref like this. Nigga, that's defense. That's basketball. He's allowed to put his hand on your chest if you're standing there. That's tracking. That's him tracking you. He's allowed to put his hand on your chest. Whether you move or decide to get his hand off of you, that's up to you. But he's allowed to track you, putting his hand on you like that off of the ball. Then, him out there flopping, trying to, get calls because they're not calling him, so he's trying to make it apparent that he's getting fouled, or just flopping to try and sell a ticky-tack touch. Still a fan, regardless of all the things I just said. He's just one of the harder, tougher players to watch on a nightly basis. Coming from an MVP caliber player, there are just certain things I don't want to see. And Joel Embiid is included in this category of player as well, where it's just a lot of whining and complaining and doing this to the referees all damn game. That is the most, other than this, after every call that you feel is wrong, that's the most annoying shit in the NBA right now, is the players doing this to referees for calls that you're not going to get. It's the playoffs. Play basketball and get over it, bro. Golly, like, it's, oh my God. And then he tries to take a lot of bad shots. He tries to force the issue a lot. It's just, like I said, I'm still a fan of Luka. I love watching him play when he is on, but when he's off, there is a lot of this whining and complaining shit to the referees. And especially when it's a tough defender that don't really care about picking up the fouls. Like, of course, we don't want Lu Dort to foul out, but we don't really care that he's picking up the fouls because he's not a focus offensively for us. So that's what we want him to do, to bottle you up, to bother you, to piss you off, to get you in your own head about your own game. That's what Lu Dort is there for. And you have to deal with it. It's the playoffs. You're not going to get those calls. You're not. And some of those weren't even foul. Like I said, Lu Dort just got his hand on his chest, and the man he's putting his hands up, looking around, swiping down. Like, you doing the swiping shit? That's a foul. That can be considered a foul. But no, that's neither here nor there. Story of majority of this playoffs for Luka has been a struggle to efficiently shoot the ball. And that was pretty much the case in this one as well. Like I said, being guarded by Lu Dort. He's having a tough go, man. Just searching for any consistency on offense, but to no avail, especially in that first half. 4 of 11 from the field, but he was getting to the line pretty effectively. 5 of 6 in that first half. He finished with 14.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Once the third quarter began, those were his stats. And then to end the game, 22 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 7 of 17 from the field. So not the greatest game from Luka Doncic, but a dominating rebounding output from him. I want to say he's the only player to have had double-digit rebounds in this game. So, yeah, man. I know this video might not do well. It might not perform well. It is what it is. My spirits are down. But I gotta give y'all the real, man. You know what I mean? I can't always be on here cheery. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna cap. I know I say it all the damn time. I am tired. I'm tired, bro. So we gonna end it right there. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. To all my supporters out there, continue to support me, and you know, we will continue to get better. We only strive for not perfection, but you know, as close to it as we possibly can get. And yeah, man, we about to keep pushing out these videos, keep grinding them out. I know it's been a few days. I had a video that I had worked on for a full 8 hours or so, just for it to be a waste of time. Yeah, they hit me with the copyright. It is what it is, though. I just know that video I did, which I've tried a couple times now, it's just not gonna be a reality. Yeah, let me get out of here though. For a minute of me saying nothing. Appreciate y'all. If y'all want to subscribe, go ahead and do it. Y'all know the drill. We enjoy ball around here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.